Hi friends, welcome you back in my YouTube channel Ajay English Word. This is Patil Yar from Gokhale Education Society, Ozar, Nasik. Lockdown, lockdown, lockdown. Corona, corona, corona. Dear children, due to corona outbreak pandemic, the education has got a long break. Don't be panic. Don't let go your knowledge down in lockdown. To stay with me, just subscribe Ajay English Word and don't forget to share and to like. I brought you a series of videos of Maharashtra State Board English Higher Level. Here we go. Where the Mind is Without Fear is a thoughtful, provoking poem by Nobel Prize laureate Rabindranath Tagore, an Indian writer. The Tagore is poet, dramatist, and often refers to as the Bard of Bengal. It is one of the best poems in the anthology called Gitanjali, which was published in 1912 and won the prestigious Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913. When Tagore composed this poem, his mind was confined by the chains of slavery like any other common citizens of India, because India was under the clutch of the British rule, where freedom was like daydreaming. This poem is written in the form of prayer to God, the true bearer of freedom. He asks to God throughout the poem with his mysterious concept of freedom from the struggle for awakening to his countrymen. Now let's learn the poem Where the Mind is Without Fear.
Unit number 1, poem number 1, Where the Mind is Without Fear, written by Rabindranath Tagore. Warming up activities. First of all, we will solve the activities from warming up. And here is our first activity. Pair up with your partner and match the terms with their given meanings. We have got here two columns. In column A there are some terms and their meanings are given in column B. Dear friends, you have to pause this video for 1 minute. You have to study both of the columns carefully. I hope you have studied both of the columns carefully and now you are ready to pair them. Let's begin to pair. First term, humanism, pairs with E option, a rationalistic outlook towards human rather than a divine or supernatural one. Second term, patriotism, pairs with C option, quality of being patriotic, vigorous support for one's country. Third term, internationalism, pairs with D option, state or process of being international. Fourth term, liberalism, pairs with B option, holding liberal views. And last term, environmentalism, that pairs with A options, concern about an action aimed at protecting the environment. So dear friends, by this activity we came to know about the terms and their meanings. Let's move towards the next activity. Second activity, poems in English are of different types. Here are given some types of poems: sonnet, limerick, ballad, elegy, free verse, epic, lyric, humorous, idyll. We will learn the terms one by one. Sonnet. Sonnet, a verse form consisting of 14 lines with a fixed rhyme scheme. A poet who writes sonnets is called sonneteer. There are some types of sonnets: Elizabethan sonnet, English sonnet, Shakespearean sonnet. A sonnet consisting 3 quatrains and a concluding couplet in iambic. Next term, limerick. Limerick, a humorous verse form of 5 anapstic lines with a rhyme scheme AA, BB, A, rhyme. Verse, a piece of poetry. Next term, ballad. Ballad, A narrative song with a recurrent refrain, Le Balladier. A singer of popular ballads is called crooner. Some extra information is given. You can read. Next term, Elegy. Elegy, a mournful poem, a lament for the dead verse form. Some extra information is given about elegy. You can study. Next term, free verse. Unrhymed verse without a consistent metrical pattern verse form is called free verse. Next, epic. A long narrative poem telling of a hero's deeds. That's called epic. You can read the extra information about epic. Next term, lyric. The next of a popular song or musical comedy number. His composition always started with the lyric. He wrote both words and music. The song used colloquial language. It's called lyric. Next, humorous. This type of poem full of or characterized by humor. Humorous stories, humorous cartoons, in a humorous vein, pleasing, giving pleasure and satisfaction, a pleasing piece of news, pleasing in manner and appearance. Next term, idyll. Idyll, an episode of such pastoral or romantic charms as to qualify as the subject of a poetic idyll episode, a happening that is distinctive in a series of related events. In short, a musical composition that evokes rural life is called idyll. So friends, by this activity we came to know about the types of poems. Dear friends, just we have studied the types of poems in detail. Now we have got an activity. Taking the help of a dictionary or internet, guess and write the type of poem against its description. First, a long story poem, often mythical, is called epic. Second, a short story poem with a message is a ballad. Third, a poem of 14 lines is called sonnet. Fourth, a song-like poem is lyric. Fifth, a poem with no uniformity of rhyme, rhythm is called free verse. Sixth, a poem set in picturesque, rustic background is idyll. Seventh, a sad poem lamenting death of a loved one is called elegy. 8. A 5-line short funny poem with rhyme scheme AABBA is called rhyme lyric. 9th, a poem written just to create humor is called humorous. Rabindranath Tagore, born in 1861 and died in 1941. Rabindranath Tagore was the author of Gitanjali and its profoundly sensitive, fresh and beautiful verse. He became the first non-European to win the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. This poem is one of his vastly read and discussed poems. It was originally composed in Bengali and later he himself translated it into English. This poem is from his Nobel Prize winning anthology Gitanjali. Tagore lived during the time when India was ruled by the British, and this poem, besides political freedom from British, Tagore also appeals to God for social, educational and economic freedom for the people of India. About the poem Where the Mind is Without Fear by Rabindranath Tagore is one of his vastly read and discussed poems. It was originally composed in Bengali, possibly in 1900, under the title Prarthana, meaning prayer. It appeared in the volume called Naivedya in 1901. Later, in 1911, Tagore himself translated the Bengali poem into English, and that translation appeared as poem 35 in his Nobel-winning anthology Gitanjali, means Song of Rings, published by the Indian Society, London in 1912. So when the poem was written, India was under the British rule, and people were eagerly waiting to get their freedom from the British rule. The poem is written in the form of a prayer to the God, the Almighty, for a true freedom for his country. And thus Tagore reveals his own concept of freedom throughout the poem, where the mind is without fear. Dear students, let's learn the poem Where the Mind is Without Fear. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake.
Dear students, let's learn the poem Where the Mind is Without Fear. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. In the very first line, the poet prays to the Almighty that his countrymen should be free from any fear of oppression or forced compulsion. He wishes that everyone in his country has his head held high in dignity. In other words, according to him, in a truly free country, every person should be fearless and should have a sense of self-dignity. Let's move towards the next line, where knowledge is free. In the second line of Where the Mind is Without Fear, the poet dreams of a nation where knowledge would be free. Education should not be restricted to the upper classes only, but everybody should be allowed to acquire knowledge. Not only that, the children should learn freely from the nature and the world around them. They should not be forced to memorize some predetermined lessons. And this is Tagore's typical concept of education. Let's move towards the next lines, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. In the next two lines, the poet emphasizes the unity of not only of his countrymen, but also of the entire world. He thinks there should be no division among people based on their caste, creed, color, religion, or other baseless superstition. In other words, prejudice and superstition should not divide the people in groups and break their unity. Narrow domestic walls means division on the basis of religion, caste, class, and color in societies and between countries of the world. Let's move towards the next line, where words come out from the depth of truth. In line number 5 of Where the Mind is Without Fear, Tagore wants a nation where people are truthful. They should not be superficial, and words should come out from the depth of their hearts. Next line, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. In the sixth line of the poem, the poet wants everyone to work hard to reach their goal and in the long run to reach perfection. He thinks They should not be tired by working. People should not be lazy and ignoring their work. In this line, tireless striving means continuous efforts and struggle. Stretches its arms means aims at achieving a goal. Let's move towards the next line, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way. In line number 7, the poet compares reason or logical thinking to a clear stream, and in the next line compares dead habits or superstitious beliefs to a dairy desert. He wants the stream of reason not to lose its way into the dairy desert of prejudice. In short, people's thought should be monitored by rational thinking, not by superstition. Logic should rule over old baseless beliefs. Next line, into the dairy desert, sand of dead habit. Dairy desert, sand of dead habit is a metaphor. Through this metaphor, the poet wants to say that his countrymen should work for perfection in everything and should not be led astray from their goal in the dry desert of dead habits. For example, in a place where outdated customs and traditions are followed. In this line, dead habit means old traditional ritual and customs that are harmful. Let's move towards the next lines, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action. In line number 9 and 10, the poet wishes his countrymen to be progressive and broad-minded. He wants that their minds are led forward to ever-widening thought and action by the Almighty. In short, we should be open-minded and do something unusual or extraordinary, overcoming the narrowness of mind. In this line, ever-widening thoughts means forever broadening one's outlook.
The final line of the poem, into that heaven of freedom, my father, let my country awake. In the final line of the poem, the poet addresses the God as Father. He asks him to awaken his country into such a heaven of freedom where the above conditions meet. In this line, heaven of freedom means condition of total freedom of good thoughts, good words and good deeds while respecting those of others.
To make it clear, the poet prays to the Almighty means my Father to raise or lift awake his country to such heights where freedom would be realized at its best means a heaven of freedom. In turn, he is actually praying that God awakens his countrymen so that they come out from the darkness of ignorance, prejudices, disunity and all other evils. Here, a great addition from our reader Ravi Murthy suggests that Rabindranath wants to awaken the God within us to free our mind from shackles and bondage. It is not invoking God but using it as a metaphor for the higher self within us. This interpretation is beautiful and I can't resist the urge to add it here. Finally, in the poem, the poet's message is very clear. If all the people of a nation are not wise enough to lead a happy and peaceful life free from all evils, they can't enjoy their freedom well. So the poet, only political freedom is not so important unless you are fearless, self-dignified, knowledgeable, truthful, hardworking and broad-minded. enough to enjoy it fully. English workshop. Activity number 1. In your notebook, write down lines from the poem as a proof for the following. Dear friends, we have got a set of sentences. Read them carefully and go through the poem and find out the lines as a proof for the following sentences. You have to pause this video and find out your answers. I hope you have got the answers. Now let's check them. A. Where words come out from the depth of truth. B. Where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. C. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. D. Where knowledge is free. E. Where the mind is led forward by thee. F. Into that heaven of freedom, my Father led my country awake. Activity number 2. Read the columns carefully and match the expressions with their meaning. Dear friends, we have got here two columns, column A and column B. In column A, some phrases are given and their expressions are given in column B. You have to read them carefully and you have to match them. Now you have to pause this video for 2 minutes. I hope you have got the answers. Let's check the answers. 1. The head is held high pairs with C option, a person with self-respect and proud of possessing it. Second, narrow domestic walls pairs with D, narrow-mindedness. Third, knowledge is free pairs with E option, education is given to all. Fourth, depth of truth pairs with B, sincerity of heart. Fifth, mind is without fear pairs with A, fearless person. Sixth, stretches its arm pairs with H option, aim at perfection. 7. Clear stream of reason pairs with G option, clear thinking. 8. Dead habits pairs with F option, dried infertile land of sand. Last one, ever widening thought and action pairs with I option, broadening the outlook and attitude. Activity number 3A. Answer the following questions in your own words. Dear friends, we have a set of questions and you have to give the answers on your own. First, A. How is the world broken into fragments? And the answer is, the world is broken into fragments by divisions on the basis of religion, caste, class, race and color in societies all over the world. Next question, B. Explain what the tireless striving should be for. And the answer is, tireless striving should be to attain one's goal as well as to achieve perfection. Next question, C. Where come out from the depth of truth? Explain in your own words. The answer is, it means when people speak truthfully and with complete sincerity of heart. Next question, D. Who is thee in the poem? What does the poet appeal to thee to do? The answer is, thee is God. The poet wishes God to awaken his country into heaven of freedom, where the people are all truly free and total freedom of good thoughts, good words and good actions exist. Last question, what qualities does the poet wish to inculcate in his countrymen? The answer is, the poet wishes that his country awakens into a heaven of freedom, where the people are all truly free and total freedom of good thoughts, good words and good actions exist. B section. Write in your notebook your own response and justify where needed. Dear friends, we have a set of questions. Now we have to find out the answers. A. Is the poem a prayer for India alone? The answer is the poem is a prayer for India alone, but it is also relevant for countries all over the world. Next, B. What should the words we speak reflect? The answer is the words we speak should reflect our sincerity and truthfulness. Next, C. What should people keep on widening? How can it be done? The answer is people should keep on widening their attitude and outlook. This can be done by getting rid of prejudices, traveling to different places, and through education. Next, D. From what darkness of night should our nation awaken? The answer is our nation should awaken from the darkness of prejudices, division of society, all traditional rituals and customs that are harmful, imparting of knowledge to selected people, insincerity, untruthfulness, fear, and lack of self-respect. Next question, E. What attributes of Rabindranath Tagore does the poem Prayers reflect? The answer is the poem reflects Rabindranath Tagore's patriotism and love for his country, his clear thinking, his broad outlook, his scientific attitude, and his emphasis on hard work. Last question, F. What effect does the repetition of the word where at the beginning of each line? The answer is the repetition of the word where at the beginning of each line gives a musical touches to the poem. Fourth activity, read the poem carefully and complete the table after the discussion in pairs. One is done for you. Dear friends, study the table carefully, discuss with your friend and fill the table. In first column, there are some concepts from the poem. In second column, you have to write the present situation, and in the third column, what is expected by the poet. You have to write that. First concept, mind. What is the current situation of the mind of the people nowadays? How is the mind of people, which is full of fear? And what is expected by the Rabindranath Tagore? Fearless mind, means mind should be fearless. Now you have to pause the video, discuss with your friend and fill the table. Dear friends, I hope you have got the answers. Let's check your answers here. Second concept, head. What is the present situation of the head? Head is bowed down. What is expected by the poet? Head is held high. Third concept, knowledge. Present situation, knowledge is limited to a selected few people. What is expected? Knowledge is free and available to all. Fourth concept, words. What is the present situation of words? Words are insincere. And how they should be? They should be truthful and sincere. Next, habit. What is the present situation of the habit? Old traditional rituals and customs that are harmful and followed. What is expected? There is reason and clarity of thought. Next, thought and action. Thoughts and actions are determined by a narrow-minded attitude. This is the present situation about the thought and action. What is expected about thought and action? Thoughts and actions are determined by a broad outlook. Dear friends, in this way we have solved this activity. Let's move towards the next activity. Activity number 5A. Complete the following sentences using your own interpretation. Dear friends, here are some sentences which are not from the poem but which are related to the poem. You have to read them and you have to fill in the blanks with the proper word. Let's start this activity. A. When the mind is without fear and head unbored, we enjoy complete freedom. B. When knowledge is free, every citizen enjoys the right to learn and obtain knowledge. C. We can prevent social injustice when we pull down discriminatory walls of caste, class, religion, etc. D. Constant effort and strife leads to achieving our goal and to perfection. E. Logical thinking and reasoning can put a stop to the following of old traditions and customs that are harmful. F. Tagore appeals to God to make his country a heaven where people have good thoughts, say good words, and do good actions. In this way, we have completed this activity. Let's move towards the next. B. Fill in the blanks. Dear friends, we have a set of sentences and we have to fill in the blanks here. A. Students should keep themselves aloof from old harmful traditions. B. When knowledge is free, everyone will be literate. C. It is a social duty of every student of modern world to uproot narrow-mindedness from societies. D. Student must develop broad outlook and attitudes. E. In the world of psychophancy, students must have self-respect. Activity number 6. Find out the examples of metaphor from the poem. Dear friends, let's understand first metaphor. A metaphor is a figure of speech that describes an object or action in a way that isn't literally true but helps explain an idea or make a comparison. A metaphor states that one thing is another thing. It equates those two things not because they are actually the same but for the sake of comparison or symbolism. Dear friends, in this poem, we have some sentences of metaphor. First, clear stream of reason. In this sentence, there is figure of speech metaphor. Here, reason has been implicitly compared to a clear stream. Next sentence, dear desert, send of dead habit. In this sentence, there is metaphor. Here, old habits have been implicitly compared to dairy desert sand. Activity number 7. Almost every line of the poem begins with the word where, and it expects the idealistic country and countrymen. Rabindranath Tagore has used the word where at the beginning of each line gives a musical touch to the poem. Friends, now work in a group of 6 students and compose your poem regarding ideal school. Begin your lines with the word where. And your time start right now. Before this, I would like to give you a very good beginning to your poem, Ideal School. An ideal school where teachers are as friends, where kids learn lessons and trends, where are no punishments and blames. Continue this poem. Activity number 8. Read the poem, write an appreciation of the poem in about 12 to 15 sentences with the help of the following points. Dear friends, we have some points here. With the help of these points, we have to write an appreciation of the poem Where the Mind is Without Fear. Title. The title of the poem is Where the Mind is Without Fear. Poet. The poet of the poem is Rabindranath Tagore. Rhyme scheme. The poem is written in free verse without any rhyme or meter. Favorite line. Dear friends, my favorite line is there, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. The central idea of the poem is, this is prayer to God. Tagore asked him to awaken his country into a heaven of freedom, where there is total freedom of thoughts, good words and good actions. Dear friends, in this poem, there is figure of speech personification and metaphor. Special features of the poem. This is a reflective poem. Poet conveys strong feelings for the process of the country. Why I like this poem? I like the poem as it is deeply sensitive, fresh and beautiful. Dear friends, now we have written an appreciation with the help of points. But dear friends, in exam, appreciation of the poem is expected to write in paragraph format only. Imagine that you have to deliver a speech on the occasion of Independence Day or the Republic Day in the school assembly. Prepare a speech to deliver on India of my dreams. Use the following steps. Dear friends, when you are going to write the speech, you have to follow the steps. Greeting and salutation, self-introduction, introduction of the topic, elaboration of the topic with examples, conclusion, thanking audience. Activity number 10. Read the short story written by Rabindranath Tagore, The Kabuliwala or The Homecoming. Visit the website and collect more information about Rabindranath Tagore's life and work. Dear friends, in this way we have completed this poem. Thanks for watching.